The only thing that matters is the question I asked you. Do you want to be well?
Walk it like I talk it, yeah, I walk it. Yeah. Flowers never grow without some water.
Welcome back to another episode of The Lion's Den. I am your host, Pastor D, and we're going to get straight into it. Today we are talking from the subject of healing belongs to me. And I'm going to be reading from John chapter 5, verses 1 through 11 in the Amplified version. In verse 1, it says, Later on there was a Jewish feast festival, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now in Jerusalem, near the sheep gate, there is a pool, which is called in Hebrew, Jewish Aramaic, Bethsaida, having 5 porticos, alcoves, and colonnades. And these porticos lay a great number of people who were sick, blind, lame, withered, waiting for the stirring of the water. For an angel of the Lord went down into the pool at an appointed season and stirred up the water. The first one to go in after the water was stirred was healed of his diseases. My God, I feel healing in the midst of this in Jesus' name. It says that there was a certain man there who had been ill for 38 years. When Jesus noticed him lying there helpless, knowing that he had been in that condition a long time, and I love this because it lets us know that even for you and me, that Jesus knows all about what we're going through. He knows our condition before we even bring it to him in prayer. Even if we don't open our mouths to say a thing, he knows all about what we're going through. He knows our state of mind. He knows where we are. He said to him, do you want to get well? My God, and this is the question he's asking us today. Do you want Bekeo Shanda to get well? Do you want to get well? Manamo Shanda. In verse 7, it says the invalid, and the invalid is a person made weak or disabled by illness or injury, answered and said, Sir, I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I am coming to get into it myself, someone else steps down ahead of me, someone more eager, someone more desperate, someone more in need of their healing, someone who's saying, I'm sick of being in this place. I'm tired of dealing with this sickness, this disease. I'm tired of being in this mindset. I'm tired of this generational curse. I'm tired of these same old cycles. Someone with a more desperate need than me steps down ahead of me. My God, DKO Shanda, how bad do you want it? That's what I feel in my spirit right now, is how bad do you want your healing? So Jesus said to him, get up, pick up your pallet and walk. Immediately, the man was healed and recovered his strength and picked up his pallet and walked. Now that day was the Sabbath. So the Jews kept saying to the man who had been healed, it is the Sabbath and you are not permitted to pick up your pallet because it is unlawful. I don't care about what you're saying. I just got something that I haven't had in 38 years. So all that lost stuff, you just gonna have to excuse me because I just got healed. I just got what I've been longing for 38 years, and you not gonna rain on my parade. You're not gonna stop me from walking and being in obedience when Jesus just told me to get up, pick up my pallet and walk. He didn't consider what day it was. He didn't consider what season it was. He didn't care about none of that. The only thing that mattered to him was that I was obedient to his voice when he said, pick up my DKO Shanda, your pallet and walk, my God, DKO Shanda. But here come these judgmental Christians and Jews and these people who so concerned about tradition and man-made laws and all these other things that don't matter in this time of healing and deliverance, trying to stop this man from doing what Jesus told him to do because it's unlawful to them. He answered them, the man who healed me and gave me back my strength was the one who said to me, pick up your pallet and walk. So excuse me if I don't pay attention to what you're saying, if I don't do what you're saying, if I don't take in consideration what you're saying, because what you're saying is not more important to me than what Jesus just told me to do. And what I love so much about this story is this is a story of choice. Our title again is Healing Belongs to Me. We have to truly believe and understand that healing is ours. And the only reason why we continue to live in these unhealed, unhealthy places is because we don't believe that we can live outside of these places. We don't believe that there's a brighter day ahead, that there's a brighter tomorrow. We don't believe that healing is possible. We believe and we literally buy into our circumstances of defeat, into these places of toxicity. We buy into these traumas and these triggers, and we believe that this is the only life that God has in store for me, and this is the only life that God has called me to live. But I'm here to let you know today that God has a better life waiting for you the moment that you decide to get up by day KO Shanda, pick up your pallet, pick up your cross, and walk on with Jesus. My God, day KO Shanda. Jesus came to this pool at the appointed time, at the appointed season. And one thing I love so much is that we all have an appointed time and an appointed season to get what it is that we need from God and get what we need out of life. It says that there was a great number of people who were either sick, they were blind, they were lame, they were withered. And they were all there waiting just for this water to be stirred. But only at an appointed time will God send his angel down to stir that water. And whoever was the most desperate, the most in need, the most ready, the one that's saying, I can't do this no more. I've had enough. I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of being lame. I'm tired of being blind. I'm tired of being stressed. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being weighed down. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of living in this same old cycle year after year, month after month, day after day. The one that was in that mindset, the one that had that heart, the one that was so ready. When the angel stirred up, he was the first one. She was the first one to hop in and to get the healing that they needed. But this man stayed in this position for 38 years. And just like a lot of us, he made excuses. Because when Jesus asked him, when Jesus first took notice of him, and then he asked him, do you want to get well? The first thing that the man said to him, instead of saying, yes, Lord, I do want to be well. I do want to get healed. Instead of us just saying, yes, God, heal me, deliver me, save me. We've brought so much into our condition that we've grown so comfortable with living life that we don't know how to live life outside of this pool of Bethesda. And so when Jesus asked him the question, do you want to get well? He didn't say yes. He said, sir. He said, I have no one to put me in the pool. Do you think everybody else that was getting in the pool said the same thing? No. It said the one that got in there first, the one that left behind all of their excuses, the one that left behind all of the lies that the enemy is that the enemy told them, that the old man, the old ways, the old woman, the old deeds told them. The ones that left behind the voices that spoke nothing but negative in their lives. That one got up and did what was necessary, but yet he says, sir, he said, I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is stirred up. And then his excuses ain't only stopped there. He goes on with another excuse. He said, and then, while I'm coming to get into the pool myself, somebody else stepped down ahead of me. So basically, I missed my turn. I'm here to let you know today, when healing becomes more important to you than being broken, it don't matter what stands in between you and that healing. You're going to get that healing that you need, that you desire, that you deserve, that God is offering to you. Jesus said to him, Jesus ain't go and invalidate his excuses. He didn't. Jesus simply said to him, he said, get up, pick up your pallet and walk. Enough with your excuses. Enough with your I can't, I won't, it's impossible. Enough with your what ifs, your buts. Enough with all of that. The only thing that matters is the question I asked you. Do you want to be well? And so this man gets what he needs after sitting in this position for 38 years. Haven't you grown tired? Have you not reached that place of enough is enough yet? Or are you still too in love with darkness, with negativity, with sadness, with all of these demonic places and these places that only robbing you of life instead of allowing you to enjoy and to live life. Couple things I want to give to you today is one, that the struggles are greater than what we see or think. Sometimes you don't even know what a person is going through. And vice versa, they may not know what you be going through. And I can understand that our struggles can be great, but guess what? When God is greater, them struggles ain't got nothing in comparison to him. They won't even compare to what he can do for you. The next thing is that there is always an appointed time for things to happen. If this is your season where God is presenting healing to you, I promise you, you want to get it. Because you don't know when that opportunity to get healed is going to come back around. Because you didn't take this one when God presented it to you. You took it for granted. You played around when God was saying, this is your time, this is your season. I'm here to heal you. I'm here to save you. I'm here to deliver you, my God. Another thing is that your healing is dependent upon your decision to move. His excuse was that nobody helped me get into the pool. It's not nobody else's job to push you, to make you do something. God gives each man a choice to decide if I'm going to either live in turmoil or if I'm going to live in joy. Am I going to live in brokenness or am I going to live in healthiness? The choice is yours. So your healing is ultimately dependent upon your decision to make a move. Because we see that after his excuses, when Jesus just told him, hey, get up, pick up your pallet and walk, the moment he got up and he moved from the place where he only knew sickness, my God, where he only knew defeat, where he only knew darkness, where he only knew mama's voice or daddy's voice, uncle's voice or sister or brother's voice that defeated you and talked down to you and told you all manner of things all your life, that you ain't going to be nothing, you ain't going to do this, you won't amount to anything, your haters. When he got up from the place where sickness was able to consume him, where the disease was able to consume him, where the lameness was able to consume him, the moment he got up, A.K.O. Shanda, and started moving, healing started to take place in his body. Sometimes we wrestle with things for too long. Either we don't know we can be healed or we're too afraid to be healed, and I love that. Because it ain't that healing is impossible. Like I stated earlier, sometimes this is all we have always known all of our life, that we're afraid to know life in a different way. Nobody may pay attention to me if I get healed. Nobody may give me the time of day if I get delivered. I no longer get to play victim. I no longer get to be the damsel in distress. I no longer get to be the broken man. I no longer get to go and cry and tell my victimized stories to people and they, oh, it's going to be, no. That's what's keeping a lot of us from getting healed. We ain't over being the victim yet. We ain't over occurring all the accolades that come with being a victim. But sometimes we're wrestling with things for far too long. And that's why at an appointed time, when God saw that someone was ready, because one thing I love about God is he's such a gentleman. He ain't going to ever force us to be somewhere that we don't want to be, that our minds ain't made up to be yet. He'll present it to us, but he ain't going to force us to be in that place. And so when he saw, okay, somebody's ready, go down, stir up the pool, stir up the water. Somebody's looking for their healing today. Somebody is going to step in the water today, my God. After hearing this video, somebody going to step into the pool today, my God, Shanda, and get the healing that God has in store for you. A reminder that Jesus knows all about our condition and situation. And he also knows that our condition is not a match for his power to heal us. Jesus wasn't intimidated by what this man was going through. because he knew that I got what this man need. And what I have is more powerful than what is holding this man. What I have is more powerful to break the chains, to break the shackles, to break the attachment, to break the crutch, to break the neediness of it, to break the dependency on it, to break his lean on it, his need for it, his want, his desire, his attraction to it. What I have is more powerful. So Jesus knew that. Anytime he approaches us and he knows what we're going through, he already knows that's the solution that he has to our problem. He knows that it's a for sure thing that is going to work. My next key point is that your response to life says a lot about your faith in God and what he's able to do. Imagine if this man would have just stayed there and kept complaining, kept making excuses, kept telling Jesus why he can't get healed, why he can't get whole, instead of just simply getting up like how Jesus said and walking. Imagine if he never got up and just walked. It would have told you that it ain't got nothing to do. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing but the fact that he ain't ready to get up yet. That he ain't ready to leave this place. And that's just being honest. That's just some of our truth. I can remember being in places I wasn't ready to leave sin. I wasn't ready to leave places that God was calling me out of. And so that's why I stayed in those places. That's why I kept struggling with those places. That's why those things kept presenting themselves to my life. But being in a place where I no longer desire what I used to desire, guess what? What used to be drawn to my life, what used to have space and time in my life, it ain't got it no more. The next thing is that Jesus isn't interested in our excuses. He's interested in our obedience. He ain't interested in what, look, just get up and walk. Like I said, he didn't pay that man excuses no mind. He ain't say, well, okay, I mean, I guess I can see that. I can understand that. I mean, you got a point. He didn't validate anything he said. In fact, he paid it no mind. He overlooked it and he said, look, get up, pick up your pallet and walk. Because them excuses, they going to keep you there another 38 years. Those I can'ts and I won'ts, it's impossible. It's going to keep you there another 38, 50 years. He's more interested in our obedience, and that's why the man was able to get his healing, because he became obedient unto Jesus. And so healing took over his life. Where sickness once had a hold, now healing has a hold. My next point is that all it takes is a word from God to shift your current circumstances. When God does it, it's an immediate, right now, and an on-time healing. It don't take long for God to move. It don't take long for God to do things. Guess what? We think all this time we waiting on God. Guess what the truth is? God is really waiting on us. He's waiting on us to make up our minds. He's waiting on us to say, yes, Lord, from the bottom of our hearts to the depths of our soul. He's waiting for a sure yes, a certain yes. There's always someone or someones that won't support your healing, but don't let that stop you from getting what you need from God. It don't matter who ain't on board with your change, with you being different, with you getting healed, with you getting whole, with you getting everything that you need for it. Don't matter who ain't on board with it. It don't care who. It don't matter who supports it or not. It don't matter who's applauding for you or not, who's pushing you, who's behind you, who's praying. It don't matter. None of that matters. Because not everybody gonna be happy that you change, that you get healed, that you get whole, that you get better. Some people gonna hate it because guess what? And you getting better means that they lose their grip that they had on your life. Meaning that they just know change is about to happen, because if he changed too much, then I'm going to lose. If she changed too much, then I'm going to, if they get too much Jesus, they ain't going to want me no more. These are the things that haters struggle with when they hate to see you grow. But don't let that be your focus, and don't let that stop you. This man, when they came to this man and presenting the Sabbath day and the laws to him, he said, look, Jesus told me that, listen, what Jesus says trumps what you're saying. I'm not worried about your laws, your traditions, your man-made religion, tactics, and all. I'm not worried about any of that. I got to be obedient to my Father. My last thing is, don't be concerned by what people say, but hold true to what God says. Don't get so caught up in the talk. Don't get so caught up in the negative Nancy's and all the negative things that's going to come out of your growth and your healing. Don't get so worried about that. Stay away from that. It ain't about who people say you are. It's about who God says you are. If you get too concerned about what people say, then guess what? You're going to revert right back, and you're going to go right back to the pool of Bethesda, and you're going to lay there for another 30-something odd years because guess what? Well, they said that I was just different, and they can't relate to me no more, and they don't know me no more, and it's sad. No. Bye. Let that connection die. Let whatever God is doing happen. At the end of the day, your healing is important. Your deliverance is important. And so I encourage us with this again to know and to understand that healing belongs to you. Whenever you're ready, the choice is yours. Whenever you get tired, whenever you reach that place of enough is enough, and I pray today is the day that you reach that place, that you no longer want to sit in those old places, that you no longer want to sit amongst those that are sick, that are dying on the inside slowly, that are losing their way, losing faith, losing hope, losing their life. I pray that you get away from the circles that you're running in that just keeps you drained and keep you low and keeps you from excelling and just going higher in life and going where God wants you to be. And get around some new people, some new friends. Get in places where God is at, where Jesus is at, where Jesus is being preached and taught, where healing is happening, where deliverance is taking place. This is the places that you should desire to be in. You shouldn't want to be there at the pool of Bethesda no more. My pool of Bethesda days are long behind me. I'm going on with Jesus. When he gave me the strength to get up and to pick up my pallet and walk, guess what? I've been walking, and I'm walking with Jesus. And I'm going to keep walking with him, and I pray your strength that you keep walking with him too. But again, healing belongs to you. Share this video with anybody that you feel may need this. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, till next time, God bless.
Wisdom is for free, but yet it's overpriced. And I never seen success happen overnight.